Welcome to the Earth Odyssey. You are a member of the Galactic Relocation, Exploration, and Analysis Team, also known as GREAT, responding to an undecipherable radio wave that was sent out into space from the planet Earth. This planet is known to contain a violent and unstable species called humans. GREAT has been tasked with capturing one for further study. After closer inspection, you discover 4 major cities around the planet where the signal may have came from. These former high population areas show signs that something terrible has happened on the planet that has caused the humans to go extinct. Upon landing in one of these devastated metropolises, the player will then begin to explore the environment, searching for any remaining humans, and to try to find out what happened to their species by deciphering their mysterious language. The 4 locations to choose to land at are the irradiated ruins of New York City, the war-ravaged Moscow, the overgrown Rio de Janeiro, and the desolate wastelands of Cairo. While in the game of Earth Odyssey, you are set in an open-world puzzle 3D adventure. During the game, the player must solve puzzles in order to solve the mysteries of what happened to the Earth and its inhabitants. To further understand what has happened to the humans, the player must learn the language of the local area. We want the player to immerse themselves in a world destroyed by war, where only mutated wildlife roams the lands. The player must be careful though, as the inhabiting wildlife of the planet Earth has been grotesquely mutated, becoming dangerous, feral, and will pose an immediate danger to you and other members of GREAT. In Earth Odyssey, the player will encounter several environmental and mechanical-based puzzles as they explore the post-nuclear war Earth. Solving these puzzles will reward the player with memory triggers or language ciphers that help fill in the backstory of what went wrong on the Earth. Some of these items will be accessible by simply solving a quick platforming puzzle by jumping to the correct ledge or platform. Others will be more sophisticated and be locked behind doors that require batteries to open or a certain sequence of pressure plates to be hit. Each of the 4 main areas to explore has a central item to collect that serves as the player's main objective. Example objectives are the Statue of Liberty in New York City or the Statue of Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro. The less challenging items to collect will reward the player with small bits of information about what happened. The longer and more drawn-out side quests, such as deciphering the local language, will reward the player with the ability to understand all of the backstory items found, such as newspapers or data storage devices. The player is allowed to run, jump, climb, and move light objects with the power of telekinesis. During gameplay, the player will have challenges to meet if they are to receive rewards from the game. The challenges go as far as climbing a set distance on walls to solving all of the puzzles in each area. We want the player to use their intellectual capacity to solve the puzzles they are given. These puzzles will start off easy as to ease the player into the game. However, they will become progressively harder as they continue to play. These include a wide range of challenges such as pressure plate puzzles, switch puzzles, memorization puzzles, and trial and error puzzles. Earth Odyssey will have a multiplayer option for players to choose. We want players to be able to jump in and out of multiplayer mode with no party or player invites to make the processes seamless. Puzzles will remain the same, and both players can tackle the same puzzle together or different puzzles at the same time and share their rewards. Communication between players will be extremely limited. The players will be given 3 different emote sounds that depict warning, happy, and point of interest. This design decision is based upon not wanting the players to tell the other player how to solve a puzzle. A principal goal in Earth Odyssey is to have the player feel fully immersed in the game at all times. We want the player to be focused on solving the mystery that led to the destruction of the human race through solving puzzles and finding clues, so this game will not have any combat elements. The player will, however, face dangers from the fauna and flora of the planet which have been mutated by nuclear radiation. The player will have to sneak past dangers or solve puzzles to eliminate the danger altogether. Some examples of this would be having to sneak past a pack of rabid dogs undetected. If the player is caught by any of these dangers, they will die and start back to the last checkpoint the player has passed. The art style of Earth Odyssey will be heavily influenced by post-apocalyptic art styles. Each of the 4 destinations will be different as far as ambience. New York will be a ruined city in rubble with overgrown vegetation massed around what was once Central Park. Moscow will have ruined buildings hidden in the deep snow. Rio will be covered in jungle vegetation with a tropical ocean view, and Cairo will be a barren desert wasteland with its buildings hidden in the sand. The cities will resemble semi-futuristic buildings covered in propaganda, advertisements, and overgrown vegetation. Before the extinction event, humanity was facing overpopulation, and to show this, there will be ruins of houses built over other houses. The city streets will be filled with rubble and emit a very dark ambience. Cities such as New York and Moscow will have been partially blown away from nuclear attacks. Evidence of this are the human shadows vaporized by the blast, depicted on the walls where the light from the blast might have hit. These shadows will show the player how people were going about their daily lives when the bomb hit them unaware. The radiation from the nuclear war would have also mutated plants and animals alike, creating new and disturbing creations that pose obvious threats to the player. In Earth Odyssey, audio will play a very important role. It will be used to enhance the emotion we want the player to be feeling at a precise moment in time. Some aspects of the game will have music for dramatic sights, while other times there will be no music whatsoever, leaving only environmental sounds such as the wind blowing. Our main goal is to make the player really feel that they are exploring an empty, ruined human world. Sound effects will also play an important role as to help immerse the player into the game. These effects will be footsteps based on the textures of the floor, water drops, rain, the wind, rabbit animals, etc. Our game will take approximately 5 hours to complete if the player does only the canon elements of the game. If the player is a completionist and does all of the side puzzles and lore, the game will take 10 plus hours to complete. We are taking this route as to appease players that want a quick story, as well as appeasing and rewarding players that like to fully complete a game by giving them additional story and content. Earth Odyssey would be launched only for digital download via Steam, PS4 Store, and Xbox Marketplace. We estimate that the game could be sold between $14.99 to $19.99. We want to avoid the costs of creating physical copies as well as their associated distribution costs, as it will cut into the profits of the game significantly. As we finish our presentation, we want you to ask yourself the following: will the cultures of the earth be lost forever? Or will a piece of humanity be discovered and brought amongst the stars? Only an Earth Odyssey will tell.